Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Good afternoon, family. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Hope you've had a beautiful weekend and hope you're looking forward to having a peaceful week ahead of you. Karibuni sana to the Black Hot Fire Network radio station. This is the media of the 21st century. 22 minutes past the top of the hour. My name is Joby. To the first-time listeners and to all the returning listeners on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, and everyone listening on the radio station.
The radio station and all TV stations worldwide streaming, looking at us, whether you're on Amazon, whether you're on Roku, whether you're on Android, and whether you're on Apple TV, we are there. Welcome. Period.
Karibuni sana, and of course we have
Asante sana, Joby. Asante sana.
You sound excited. Are you having some Popeyes over there?
No Popeyes. I can't afford no Popeyes this week because we're paying too much stuff behind the scenes. So no Popeyes for me, Joby. I wish I would. Are you treating this week, Joby? You with some Popeyes?
I will treat you very soon. That's all I can say right now. I'll treat you very soon, but back. I think it's back to salad. So is it the turkey salad?
Yes, that's right, Joby. That's the turkey salad for me. When you're a popper, when you're building stuff in Africa, really building real stuff. That's what this is going to be about today. When you're building real stuff, and you're not scamming and conning, real things. You got a real, you're building real things in Africa. You're not conning people out their money, fake land scams. Yeah. You got a real staff that you got to pay. Joby's got to get paid. People have to live well.
You got to look good.
Yeah, gotta look good. Oh, but listen, my staff has to look good. My fault. My bad. My staff has to look good. So don't forget the looking good part, family. So they're gonna cash that right there, they're gonna cash that right there. So anyway, what I'm talking about today is that Oshey, we don't even deal with these people because they're not really in our, we are Pan-Africanists. We've been shadow banned so bad. That's why we're on everybody's TV across the world. We're not really big on YouTube no more because they shadow banned us for real. And so these other people that do this, and I said it's always with a religious bent. These fake religious morons, these fake all this Christian insanity, these Hebrew Negro lights, all this fake religion. So come to find out that these guys have been going to Tanzania, Kenya, and Ghana and have been doing land scams on Black Americans, right? They've been Jamaican Americans, Jamaicans and Black Americans have been moved to these African countries and started scamming other Africans, usually the elderly, sadly enough, right? Usually the elderly. Like I told you guys, you don't give your money to anybody talking about they're buying land in Africa, because first of all, they don't have citizenship in Africa, so they don't have the right to sell anybody any land. Okay? So there was one YouTuber that I kind of liked, the young man. It was Mark Meets Africa. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this kid. And I would always think, how's this? Because he went to Africa when we was in you guys remember I was doing all them tours in Tanzania back in the day, 5 years ago, right? That was coming out of my pocket. See, all these other fake YouTubers always got some kind of scam going on where they need some money. I'm doing tours and no, I would set up the tours, but I would pay for them. So that's why my name was never destroyed by anybody, because I wanted just people just to get back to the continent and see what it was for yourself, not trying to make money off anybody's backs. And I told you years ago, most of these YouTubers are broke, poor, weirdos, messed up. And I was getting to just regular YouTube. They were all these people trying to invite me, all these goofy people. They had problem with women. They couldn't get dates. They called the manosphere and all this just low budget losers, right? Sorry, that's what this Oshey Duke Jackson was a part of too. These are dudes that couldn't get no coochie, crying about women, right? I never had that problem, right? So I was always able to get coochie. So I wasn't mad at black women, Joe. I never had that problem, so I didn't understand their beef with women. Go ahead, Joe. We just agree.
We know anyone who has heard your story should know you never had a problem getting women.
Everybody knows that about me. I never had a problem with women. So I never understood the anger these dudes have. I said, oh, these the low budget dudes who they've been kicked in the face by women when they were growing up. They're all angry because they couldn't get coochie. I get it. I said, nah, I can't be a part of none of this crazy stuff. These are all losers. These are all loser Negroes. These are all the losers in life. Ain't done nothing. So YouTube gave all these people a second act. So you guys remember when YouTube started paying people, the losers were getting, remember the algorithm is based on dysfunction. And so this algorithm started promoting these dysfunctional Negroes. They were getting somewhat of a following, right? It wasn't based on anything meritocratic, because they understand the algorithm is based to push black dysfunction. It's pushed because they want to normalize dysfunction within the black community. So that's what the algorithm would put out there to black people and then globally. I didn't want to be part of none of that. So my thing was getting all African people back together. I didn't want to get caught in this fake ass Kevin Samuels nonsense, this fake ass Tariq Nasheed moron. Now I'm talking about FBA, this fake FBA movement. That moron, because I knew they all were looking at my channel back in the day, because you can see through the algorithm would show you what big channels were looking at you. So you had the Jason Black, this idiot, this buffoon moron, and this idiot. So I had to carve out another sector. So I'm going to be part of these dysfunctional Negroes, because I knew it was all some scam stuff. So as we built up in Kenya and Tanzania, we wanted to build a real footing, real thing. So as I wanted to share with you guys, I want to share it now, because I just don't want to share it now. Stuff we've been building. But there are no scams, guys. You guys know I don't scam people. But let me get back on track. So this young man, who I was really impressed with, named Mark Meets Africa, because he got to Tanzania the same year I was doing that. When I had Job, and then we went and bought the mansion, and I had to lose that mansion because it was killing my pockets, because it was COVID, and none of you Negroes are going to Tanzania to visit, right? But he popped up on my radar back in 2021, and so he seemed like a clean-cut individual. But I was like, how's this young man supporting himself at 19, 20 years old over in Tanzania without any job? And there's no way you saved enough money at that young age to sustain yourself yearly. There's just no way. Because I know what I got to pay just for my staff with Joby. And we had a big, we had, how many people we had, Joby, one time? 12 people working for us? 10?
11, so, including the cleaning lady.
There's the maid, so I had 10, and I had the other staff in Uganda, which I'm bringing back, guys. I'll bring the staff back in Uganda. We're gonna build another studio there, a real one this time, a whole thing. Anyway, then the staff in Uganda. I had so just understanding the expenses of just that, right? But no scamming, because we were never getting paid by YouTube. YouTube was always taking us down. So we couldn't get these fake YouTube dollars. And what we're talking, the algorithm would never push us out there because we don't push dysfunction and hate, right? And we're not doing all kinds of celebrity nonsense. We're not talking about who's sleeping with who's doing this, who. We don't care about none of that. So that's where you get YouTube dollars, is promoting dysfunction. So I didn't need the money that bad. Well, I'm going to create channels of dysfunction. That's how these Negroes make money on YouTube, by creating dysfunction. This dysfunctional or just, doing messy gossip stuff. And because I can even call this kind of a gossipy show right here, but you guys, I'm not used to it because we don't do this, but I just wanted to emphasize, I'm going to give him credit for calling out these scammers. So right now you got a group of scammers that are broke, poor, messed up, that went to Tanzania and can't sustain themselves there. And so now they got on their funky little YouTube channels and been pushing nonsense. About come to Tanzania, we can get your land, we can get your house built. What? Have you ever built a house in America? Have you ever built the land? You ever bought land in America first? And of course, the answer is no. That's why they took their bummy butts over to Tanzania or to Ghana. And let me say something first, guys. You guys hear me up. I didn't do a show Saturday, right? Because one of my youngest, my second oldest son, came through the house. You guys go crazy. And he's building 2 homes in Houston right now. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to put them in the WhatsApp chat, guys. And my second oldest son is building. He's building 2 homes, 2 huge homes in Houston right now. And I'm like, hey, when I grow up, I need to be like you, son. So he's got experience. He's building 2 homes. He's building them. 2 homes he's building right now in Houston, Texas. You guys always know I'm an open book. I tell you guys everything about me. So you guys know everything about me. So you guys know I don't push no scams. So these guys went all the way to Africa and now pushing land scams. We're building homes. How you building homes? But what? What government agency authorized you to be able to build homes in Tanzania, Kenya, or Ghana? And so these questions got to be asked, right? So sadly enough, they've been preying on the youth. The young guys are preying on the elders and talking about building homes because a lot of people want to leave America, right? And it's always with a religious tint. It's always these religious morons, these damn Hebrew Negroites, these Baptists, all these over Christian, you Christian morons are always an easy mark. All they got to tell you about the Lord and Jesus. Jesus wants you to return to the motherland. But most of these Hebrew Negroites said they're not even Africa. So we're Africans. So why are these Hebrew Negroites returning to Africa when they say they're not African? Me and Joby did shows with these Hebrews coming over here saying, why are you talking about Africa? We're not Africans. And we're talking about we. I'm African, moron. I'm not one of these fake FBA morons. I'm not a pretendian, right? I can trace my lineage back to Angola 500 years ago. I can do that. So I'm not one of you pretending Negroes either. This fake FBA thing made about this moron that dropped this high school dropout named Tariq Nasheed and his non-FBA woman. You know what? You're not even married to the FBA, you moron. Mama-in-law is not an FBA. It's like all these ideologies are pitched to the retarded and the stupid, right? It's FBA nonsense. So that's what I said they will never have any power base because their audiences, the followers are all ignorant. That's what the algorithm pushed out there to the masses of black people to keep them dysfunctional. So anyway, back to this Mark Meets Africa. So this young man was in Africa. I thought he was doing good work. I was like, wow. He moved from America, but he never mentioned his family. I thought that was odd too, right? So he goes to Africa. He never talks about his own family back in the States. And who would let their 19-year-old child just move to Africa? I'm not letting, you guys know I'm in Africa. So I'm not letting my 19-year-old kid move to Africa. He don't know what's going on. He never got Joby taken care of him. And Joby don't like no kids. Let me stop. And so sad enough, you got a whole bumper crop. And if you guys don't know, now you guys remember 5 years ago when we interviewed the Black Acres of the Gambia? I know General Mosquito remembers. He's in the chat. So they even saying the guys at that time I said Spikes and Cammy. Joby was just coming, right? And Joby's been here 4 or 5 years himself now, right? So this is like 5 years ago when we interviewed the Black Acres of the Gambia with Spikes and Cammy there at the time. Now they've been called out as scammers. They've been called out as scammers now, right? They've been called out as scammers because I was like, wow, because we haven't talked to them in 5 years, and so now it's come to my attention that those guys have now been called out as scammers because nothing's gone successful for them over in the Gambia. So they're running some kind of scams. I'm not exactly sure what they're doing right now. But I told you guys, anything hooked up with any of these church organizations, you stay away from them. Anything talking about this praise the Lord, praise Yahuwah, Allah, whatever. They have no track record. They know you're an easy mark because you going in all this religion. They know black people are spiritual by nature. You're religious. And so I got this other video from this lady I never heard of, came on his channel, this Kiki lady. You don't know what the hell she's talking about either. Oh, child, you shouldn't go to Africa if you're scared. No, you should go to Africa. You just got to know what you're doing and go there with a right heart and a right mind, right? And if you do want to move there, you must make connections. You must do networking. So with me, thanks to my staff, we got networking. You know, my little man Demore, we get almost anything we want through the government. We can get our damn passport. Demore's know people inside the government. They get our passports. See, we didn't know that back then. It took me a year to get Joby and them passport.
Yeah, but we're not Demore yet.
Yeah, we didn't have Demore yet. But now I got somebody on my staff that has connections with the government, right? So now I get the passports in a week. So we get sad enough. Africa's got a lot of corruption, guys. And people say people have a love with Africa because people say I have a love-hate with Africa, right? People say I beat up on Africa too much because I don't ever sugarcoat things. I don't romanticize Africa because even my staff gets mad. Like Canvas, keep you beat on Africa too much. You're always beating up on Africa. You can't be beating up on Africa the way you do. I said, I gotta tell the truth about it, Canvas. I don't romanticize because I've always told you, Africa is the future. That's no doubt. But don't romanticize it for people. Tell them, hey, this was going on. There's a lot of corruption in Africa. That's just a fact. Okay? And then you must have networking. So let me share one thing with you guys. Just real I'm gonna send it to Joby. I'm gonna have Joby put up there. I shouldn't do it, but I'm gonna do it, Joby. I shouldn't do it, but you think I shouldn't do it? Should I not? Should I wait?
Let them just be patient.
All right. I'm not going to, at the end of the year, guys, it's going to be a lot of stuff, you guys. We building a lot of stuff getting built. So I'm going to leave it alone. Joby probably right. I don't show you yet. So I'm not going to share right now. But
let things flow, then we can.
Yeah. I'll leave it alone. I'll wait till the end of the year, guys. I promise, the end of the year, Joby's right. So we're building a lot of stuff, but it's legal. No cons, no scams. But you must have connections in Africa to build, right? You must have networking, which I cultivated over many years. You know these comments like that Phil guy, that phony Phil from the Bias show. Now he's Pan-African, whatever that goofy channel is, right? This phony con man ass Negro, right? All these con men, right? Because they knew it was money. See, they only switched to Pan-Africanism because there was money in this space. The dude was calling black women hair-hatted hooligans with all these other dysfunctional morons like the Tommy Soda Moistures and the Tariq Nasheed, all these dysfunctional Negroes, and you can't show me nothing they built. I always show you what I built. Always. They ain't built nothing. Nothing. You can't say I'm getting no YouTube dollars, right? So you got this baby face. And somebody called him the Obama looking Negro, right? He says Obama looking Negro. So he's been out there in Tanzania, and I was impressed by him. I'm not gonna lie. I said, wow, because he's able to sustain that house. So I seen him buy a house. I didn't know it was gonna be an orphanage, but a house. I said, how's he sustain that house? When I had the house, you guys know I had that mansion. That mansion was tearing my pockets up. I told you, I said, I'm going to let this mansion go. And you guys say, oh, kid, you're supposed to advertise it more. I said, you Negroes weren't going to Tanzania to give me no money to live in that house. I'm going to let that thing go. I was wondering, how's this young boy sustaining his lifestyle? What is he doing that's allowing him to buy this home or rent it, or even rent it out? I make a decent living. I'm like, God, that thing was breaking my back. I'm like, I got to let this thing go. Because Joe in the kitchen said, can we keep the house? I said, no, we can't keep the house. That thing got to go. This thing is breaking my back. and you Negroes won't give me no donations. All that money was coming out of my pocket. Y'all might say, gee, we ain't trying to buy no big house. That's your fault. You're right. It's my fault for me trying to buy a big house and bring you Negroes to Africa. So I will eat that. But I was like, how is he able to sustain himself? And you'll never see him have any job, any working. What is he doing? And I didn't really think that he'd be scamming folks, right? I was like, no, I don't think he'll be scamming people that young. Because he got that kind of face that he wouldn't be doing that. And then there was another couple I seen at about the same time. Came out to Tanzania. They're from Tennessee somewhere. I think Nashville, Memphis. And they already had problems in America. Couldn't get jobs. They ended up moving. So if you can't get a job in America, you're that young, why are you moving to Africa where there are no jobs? That was my first red flag. You can't move to Africa, you got no job here, and try to get a job there. That's how you're going to sustain yourself. So that was that T3 in me, but it was cute because they had the little baby. And so you got distracted by that. They got the child, they young, they in love. You're like, the questions that come, how are they going to sustain themselves? How do you make money to live and sustain their lifestyle? Then y'all find out it's all scams. Stealing money from the elderly. Yeah, we got this. Nobody's got a bank account. No one has done any paperwork. They send me cash apps to buy. When are you sending people cash apps to buy land? Huh? Who's cash apping you money for land? Black people. You got to stop being moronic. Elderly people. I know you want to move to Africa. You got to deal with. Okay, let me give one example. If you guys remember John. John was one of the guys I sent to Tanzania, right? When I set up the trip, the last one I did. You guys, it was great, but you remember, part of my staff was a disaster. And Joby said, Joby told somebody, you always mess up. You're always bad. You always mess up. So this before that, okay? So the staff is there. John is there, so we got him in Dar es Salaam. And that's when we decided, that's when we got when we owned the hotel and we were going to build the restaurant. And the restaurant's still going to get built. So you guys just listen. I'm taking you guys all over the place. I'm taking you guys back 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years. So anyway, that was the same time we were going to also do the restaurant. No, the restaurant was a year later, right? But these other Negroes one of the investors became these Spanish head Negroes, this religious stuff. Everybody get caught up in this religious nonsense. They became these Moors. So all that fell apart. These Spanish head Negroes. Anyway, so at that time, I just hired Joe, but I was going to bring her, but of course, Cammy wanted to go, and I love Cammy. Cammy cried. I said, man, I gotta take Cammy down to Porcelana. Anyway, this Cammy cried. So we went down there, right? There was like 8 or 9 people, 10 people, something like that. Can't remember. Remember, I handled all that for no money. No money. On the scam, I handled all that. Everybody's hotels, set up everything for no money. So I wanted everybody to have their first trip to Africa. No money. My money. My money. And before that, the year before that, 2020. I paid for everybody's trip in 2020. My money. I paid for the hotels. My money paid for all of that. All of it. All they had to do was buy their ticket. I said, you guys buy your ticket. I'll cover the lodging. Just buy your plane ticket. And everybody tell you these are facts. My money paid for all that. Not no scam. Not no, oh, we're going to set this tour. I'm going to get, it's going to cost $12,000. And you're going to pay this, but you're paying all these fake people. So anyway, so we had all these people there, right? And so John, to make a long story short, so John got them letters. We sent them to Dar es Salaam and Zanzibar. Because remember, we couldn't get John's wife to come because John's wife was so propagandized to, I can't be going to Africa, they don't got toilets. I said, what? They only got no, you know what she said, Joby, yeah. I'm telling her, they only got toilets over there. I said, they don't got toilets? They only got traffic lights and toilets and lights. I said, yes, ma'am, they got toilets. They got traffic lights. Yes, they do. So she, no matter what I did, she refused to come with him. So John came on a trip by himself, and everybody loved it, right? Went to Dar es Salaam and Zanzibar, right? So when John came back, I didn't hear John. We didn't know what happened to John. John said he had a lovely time, but John just became ghost. We didn't hear from John until 2 years later, right? John said, Keith, man, I got to get over there, man. I got to buy a house. How I get a house to get over there? See, me not scamming John. Right? Not scamming John. I said, okay, John, I'm going to hook you up with a reputable real estate agent in Kenya. So I think you'll do better in Kenya than Tanzania because Kenya culture is more like American. Africans in Kenya are more like Americans. And you will be culturally better and you'll understand because Kenyans speak English more so than the Tanzanians do. So I think you'll fit in better living in Kenya. And I think you'll get a better deal and a better feel for Kenya. So behind the scenes, I tell you about nothing. I told you John come at the book. I tell you I walked him through him buying a house in Kenya. He told me I could say it, but I never mentioned it. I never mentioned it. So I helped John get him a piece of property in Kenya. I didn't get any money. It wasn't about me saying, hey, John, let me sell you some land and you can build a home. No. I said, since I know Nairobi, I'm going to cook you up with a reputable real estate agent to get you and your wife, because that's why, because he was pressured by his wife. His wife and them wanted to leave the suburbs of Detroit. And they wanted to move to Africa, and she kept saying, call Keith, call Keith, call Keith, call Keith. Tell him where we can go. Ask him where can we go, where can we get a house in? Because John had took all those pictures of Zanzibar, and now she was loving it, and now I wanted to move. And as far as I know, John and his wife are now living in Nairobi somewhere. Now they got the house. These Negroes ain't called me again. So I've been used a lot of times to help people. If you guys remember the lady from Pennsylvania, from Philadelphia, we helped her get a house over in what's that house called? Them properties in Zanzibar were called. I forgot her name. What was her name? Old lady, Sister Sharon. What was that old lady's name? You guys remember that old lady? I know she was using, but that was okay because I didn't want her to get scammed. And she ended up buying some property over in Zanzibar. There's been a new housing development over in Zanzibar. And she went and bought one over there. And guess what? I help people out. They never gave me, they never even donated to us. And then we don't never hear from again. I don't know if she's living or dead, but we helped her out. So she was living in Zanzibar in that new housing complex that they built over there. I can't remember the name of it to save my life. But so what I'm saying is these individuals are destroying our names over there. I told Joby, I thought he had left because he said Tanzania was corrupt. And then we found out it's him, young Mark, scamming people, being a con man, saying he's going to build houses and villages. How some 22, 23-year-old guy going to start building houses for you in some place he's not from? And now he moved all the way over to Western Tanzania, over about Lake Victoria, and supposedly acquired some land. We're going to start building homes there. I'm like, okay, well, how are you able to do this without any citizenship of Tanzania? What authorities are you using to back these projects? And that's what I told you. I told you don't give no money to no YouTubers. They're all faking. I mean, all of them are fake and phony. They're all messed up. That's why you guys see me detached, and you guys ain't seen me around no YouTube people at all, because we're not, even though we got our channel on YouTube, we are a radio TV channel. We actually have a real network. We're actually a real network. We're not no YouTuber. We got a real network. We're everywhere. YouTube, we don't even get numbers on YouTube no more. Most of our numbers come from the TV, where we get thousands of views, or thousands of views on TikTok, sadly enough. But most of our views come from TV channels. We get thousands of views. We don't get no views on YouTube. We're actually shadow banned on YouTube. We might get more views on Rumble than on YouTube. So we don't make no money from no YouTube. So we're not trying to scam and hustle people. And so that's why I want to put this disclaimer out there, that you still can trust people that's reputable. But most of these YouTube cats, they say they moved to Ghana, moved to Tanzania. They're all broke. They're all broke. They don't got any money. They're usually running away from something. They've been unsuccessful. And also these YouTube dudes, even in America, that gave them a second chance at life. Most of them are unemployed, bummy, sorry, living in one-room damn apartments, and got a big following. And these are all broke bummies, all broke bums, trying to give you some advice. You know, let me find out with this no-face Negro, and this Jason. And I told you guys years ago when you brought that Jason Black to me, like 7 years, I said, this guy is a dude that got kicked in the head in the playground because didn't know women date him. And then you find out last year he got some kind of scandal, because you guys brought it to me, some kind of scandal where he's dating his moderator, going all the way from Louisiana to Virginia to get some coochie. You're like, what? What kind of simp stuff is that? When you in black authority, you going over to get some black coochie, you going all the way from Louisiana all the way to Virginia, and he's trying to give you advice on this. He's trying to give you dating advice. I told you, don't listen to none of these more. They got some kind of issues going on. They're psychologically messed up in the head. All these YouTubers are broken, bummy, and some kind of. And I told you, anybody that don't show their face, that don't got skin in the game, you don't let them tell you nothing about nothing, because they're not doing it. I'm hiding from the government. I'm trying to keep myself incognito. The government knows every IP address on the planet. So that's a lie. They're trying to hide something from you. They're phonies. Try to give me some dating advice, and you look ugly as hell. What are you talking about? Try to tell me about a woman I never seen with a woman in my life. You going to get some moderator coochie? You crazy? I gotta go. I'm traveling 1,500 miles to go sleep with my moderator, and they don't want to pay. See, that's what I'm talking about. They're all bummy. All their the YouTube nonsense is a facade. You can't show me nothing they built. And don't talk about no YouTube channel. You ain't built nothing. That's owned by the white man. You don't own nothing. Show me your network you built. Show me no YouTube channel. Show me something you built, and you can't show me nothing. And I put what I built against yours, you will always lose against me, always. I'm not going to show it. The other stuff we built until December, like Joby said, no one compares to me on what I built and you built. Don't tell me about no YouTube channel. You know, my YouTube channel's got 150,000 subs. What? All right, moron. YouTube channel. You know, my YouTube channel makes me a success. All right, stupid. Whatever. But anyway, anyway, but I'm gonna share this bit. I want to share this one first. Jerome, let me share this one. He's talking about because he had me believing. Because I don't follow him that much, but I did like the young man. I said, wow, young man left home. He's adventurous. Moved to Tanzania. And so when I see him say he was leaving because it's too corrupt. So he wanted to badmouth the country, right? And I knew I didn't have that experience there. I will mention this, guys. We will have the restaurant up and running in September. As I told you guys, get your passports. I'm going to be paying for some trips over there. Right? Get your passports. So the only reason why it took us this long to get the restaurant up and running because these Negroes decided to go become religious. They became Fez head Negroes. I was like, oh, man. And I got to leave that alone. But I never had that experience in Tanzania. As me and Joby did. We've always had getting the house. That was easy. Getting the land, that was easy. And the restaurant space with William, if you guys don't know, the restaurant's going to be in a hotel owned by a gentleman that we know by the name of William. And then William asked me later on when we built this, can I partner with him in setting up tourism? If you guys don't know, tourism is one of the biggest business in East Africa, but it's controlled by white people of all things. And so he wants to partner with me and we start tourism, which is $1 billion business in East Africa. So that's networking, real business, right? Networking, not no scams. Because William's family is piped into the government of Tanzania. And he was running for a seat. I don't even know if William won the seat or not, right? He was running for a parliamentary seat. So when I say we got real connections, real networking, that's real. You must have network. I never seen Mark have any real connections for 5 years living in Tanzania. And if you guys don't understand African culture, you're going to have connections. You're going to have networking. As Joby said, you got to have connections, right? You got to know somebody. You got to have some nepotism going. Ain't that right, Joby?
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, it's the same thing we saw. I want to relate to these big brothers. They call the big. How they call passport bros, the big brothers, passport bros.
Passport bros.
Yeah, when we had one of them coming to Kenya and then yapping, we came here, we're coming to save you. You're coming to save who? Excuse me? You're coming to save who? Save yourself, because we're gonna save you and we'll save your pockets. That's what we're gonna do. So be careful. Be careful. That's how you get scammed. That's how you get scammed. You have to bring connections with people. You have to be, you can't come trying to act like now you're the big boss, trying to act like, calm down. Let us take you around, connect with people, understand the culture.
You better be careful, Joby. Take your life savings. Hey, Zoe, we ain't seen Zoe in years.
That's him,
Anyway, so let me see if I can send this. So I know you guys don't know a lot of these people I'm talking about, but big cheese fighter is you guys been in YouTube streets. You guys don't know I only be on YouTube. And so you guys know most of these people more than I do. You guys better know who I'm talking about. So you got a group of individuals that have moved to Africa now are preying on people by scamming them about saying they got land in Tanzania, in Kenya, in Ghana. Those are the main, or in the Gambia. These seem to be the main countries. Oh shoot, did I lose Joby? Uh-oh. I still got Joby. Okay.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
All right. Don't fool me. I thought the lights might have went out, guys.
Okay. I'm here.
All right. All right. Now the lights might have went off. That's it. So anyway, so I want you to play that video I sent you real quick, Joby. So I'm gonna let him talk. You know, Joby called him the big nose dude, but he was. But I will give him credit for changing his. Because when I first came on YouTube, he was one of these people with this manosphere nonsense. All these loser type Negroes who couldn't get women. He had to go to Africa to get women. I'm telling you, that's what happened with him. He went to Africa to get women because he was broke and dusty. So when broke and dusty guys go to Africa with a little money, now he can get women because he could never get women. That's why they was always mad. All these manosphere Negroes, this angry man, all these bum Negroes who never could get a date. It was crazy. And so you had that Cerulean Gray dude years ago. Keith, come and be a part of this. I was like, what? No, all these dudes are broke, messed up. Nah, I ain't never had no problem with no women. I never had no problem to get any sex. So now I'm good. I'm not mad at any black women. But go ahead, Joby. So he changed his whole outcome. All right, say Joby.
Broke. Leave women alone if you're broke. Leave women alone. Leave women alone.
You know,
This particular space on YouTube has been dealing with scammers who are content creators and who pretend to be pro-Black or Pan-African. I am not making this video to cause further distinction or to try to separate or conquer and divide. If you feel that way, I am deeply sorry. What I am trying to do is to help you save your money and to help you do not be also scammed or victimized by certain individuals. And I want to go over a few YouTubers who offer services and consulting and help. Pause it
for a second for me. Pause it. I don't know how you can be pro-Black and say you're some Hebrew Negro. Like, they're anti-African. They say not African. How are you pro-Black talking about you're a Hebrew Negro? Like, that don't even make any sense to me. Never has. How are you pro-Black? See all these religious morons, any religion that you said that came to you by the so-called Mzungu, as Joseph Mapanga told you on our channel, I've been said that you are not pro-Black. You're talking about you're Baptist, you're Hebrew, you're Seventh-day Adventist. You're not pro-Black. You're a colonized Negro. You're not a Pan-Africanist. Talking about you got the white man's religion and you are not, especially not no. I don't know how many shows me and Joby did when these Hebrews pop up. They tell you we're not African. And then what they say, Joby? You hear me, Joby?
Yes. Yep, that's what they do. I remember they came to our show, that was last week, and they said
over and over again. They're not African. And I'm not an African. I'm American. Everybody, it's like these FBA morons. They'll tell you I'm an FBA. You're not an African. You're an FBA. You're not an African. You're a Hebrew. I'm not your Hebrew, and I'm not your fake ass FBA. You take all that and shove that where the sun don't shine. You keep your fake FBA. You got a movement by a moron. Go ahead, Joe. You got it. Go play it.
all right.
opinion if I believe that these individuals are scammers or not. It could not be true. It could be true. But this is my mentality as a person living in Africa, and I want to see if they have any value for you. The first person that I want to talk about is this guy, Mark Meets Africa. Now, unfortunately, he has fallen under some very serious and heinous allegations of scamming the elderly. 2 people, one for $24,000 and another lady of $20,000. And Mark Meets Africa is a guy that I have met twice, and this really hurts me to have to even come out here and talk about this. But again, this is true information. I've talked to Mark myself, and he has verified that these people have never gotten their money back, and it is his responsibility to do that. However, I could see how you could fall for a guy like Mark Meets Africa.
Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in to this video. I was
somebody called him the Obama-looking Negro. This Obama-looking Negro scamming bastard. Go ahead, Joe.
Video I made called "Don't Stay in the Wilderness Longer Than You Have to," and I'm blown away. I don't know how I didn't see him sooner.
He's everything you would want a young black man to be: nice, humble, well-spoken, logical. Doesn't seem like he can hurt a fly, right? Well, let's check out these receipts.
So this is how the story goes. So I had been considering moving to Africa for a while, but wasn't sure of what or how to go about it. I was a regular to Pastor Rick Fletcher's channel on the day that I first encountered Mark and his business partner, Oral Gray. They had apparently been on the channel previously because the segment was about lots selling out fast. So I turned in only to realize that people had already purchased lots. So in my mind, I wanted to act fast, unfortunately. Mark and Oral was smiling, happy, engaging, and overall ready to do business and eager to give out the number to merge the company's name. I contacted Oral and asked him to reiterate some of what I previously missed, and that was all she wrote. I purchased what I believe to be 1/8 acre for $1,600 and 1/4 for $800.
And pause that, Joe. Pause that, Joe. I don't know where you're buying all that land for that cheap price. I know an acre just in Kenya alone costs you $10,000. 1 acre. I don't know where you're buying that at. Tanzania may be a little more cheap. I know 1 acre, which we're going to at least $10,000. 1 acre in Kenya. and that's considered cheap. So I don't know where you're buying this land, lady, with a whole house on it, with, like you said, $16,000. Where's that at? He just be laughing. Where's that at? I know the house I got to buy Job and them. We're going to start buying them homes. Cheapest home I can buy them starts at $70,000. You talking about you buying a house with 2 bedrooms for $16,000? Where's that at? Well, you said. Go ahead, Joe. What you say?
Are you buying a container? Even a container, I don't know if it's expensive than that.
I know. You buying a container, exactly right. So how you said you're going to buy a 2-bedroom house over 2 bathrooms for $16,000? What are you talking about, lady?
Wow.
What? You let that man scare you, you're going to buy another one for $8,000. That was going to be you're going to turn that into a bread and breakfast unless you got unless you're going to build a toilet in one of them outhouses for $8,000. I don't know so we know he's scamming you because he would have told you there's no way anything is getting built for those prices. There's no way. No way. Cheapest home, the nicest, cheapest home I can get for Job and them is going to cost at least $65,000 to $70,000. 3-bedroom, 2 baths. 3-bedroom, 3 baths. That's $65,000 to accept, and to me that's cheap. $65,000 to $70,000 to America, that's cheap for us. But you're not buying nothing for those $16,000. What are you talking about? You insane? And this young man, so the young man's lying to you. Go ahead, Joby. Go ahead.
That the builders would do the building of all the homes. On the 1/8 merge, on the 1/8 acre, merge was to build a 2-bedroom, 2-bath for $17,000. On the 1/4 acre, 1-bedroom, 1-bath was going to be built that I planned to use for an Airbnb for $12,000. I was elated, to say the least. I sent the $25,000 for the lots. I emailed you a copy. I wanted to pay off the Airbnb first and stay there until the 2-bedroom was finished. Then a week later, I sent my
Joby. You thought you were going to get an Airbnb made for $8,000? Lady, are you insane? And he knows, that's how you know, that's how you know he's scamming. Here's how you know that this young bastard Mark was a scam artist. He knows well, just the materials you ain't getting on $8,000. What are you talking like Joby said? You can't live in a container for $8 grand. What are you talking about? So him knowing the prices and still going on and say, yes, 8,060. I'm gonna come live in the Airbnb, you're gonna make me for $8,000. What? So you know he's scamming. Because he knows ain't no way that's the cost of anything. Go ahead, Joby.
A week later, 4,000. 1 week later, another 4,000. 1 week later, another 4,000. By this time, the group chat was formed.
So this is how Mark was, because I was looking at his videos every now and then. I was looking at, because I was all impressed. I said, I would ask, how is he sustaining? I never seen Mark go to any job. He was in Uganda. I seen him in Kenya. I seen him down in South Africa. He was traveling up there. I seen him in Zambia. His main hub was, of course, Tanzania. But sometimes you see he'll go take a trip to Zambia, check it out, go down to South Africa, check it out, come up to Uganda. I said, how is he doing this? What money does he got coming in? There's no way he made this much money as a child in America, because we know he said he came from Las Vegas. We don't know nothing about his family, nothing. So he said he used to do lawn care service. You ain't get enough lawns in your life to be traveling from enough lawns in your life to be traveling from Tanzania down to South Africa to Zambia, then over to dang Uganda, then Tanzania. Oh yeah, okay, if you did 1,000 lawns. You know how expensive it is to travel in Africa? I know. So I'm like, how's he sustain? Then he bought that big house, even though it was kind of messed up. He cleaned it up. I said, I know we purchased that big house, and that was killing me. I'm like, man, I gotta let this thing. I had that thing for almost a year. I said, I gotta let this thing go. This thing tearing my pockets up. How's this young boy affording all of this stuff? And like she said, I gave him 4,000, another 4,000, another 10,000, another 8,000, another 5,000, another 6,000. He poured up them people money. Go ahead, Joey.
And of course, that's a lot of money. Living in Tanzania,
I know. He living good. That's why I never seen him with no job. Joey just walking around, doing nothing. I got an orphanage, building a house. I never seen that dude do nothing.
As I was feeling uneasy at this time,
he may come off as innocent, but the things that he's doing.
Hey, Joby, he was really feeling himself.
Oh no.
Go ahead, Joe.
Diabolical, and it's sickening, and it might even make you think that a person like this could be sociopathic. I'm not saying that he is a sociopath, but he could have sociopathic tendencies. The idea that a person is humble, or a person is nice, or a person is kind, or a person is transparent, that's something that anybody can prove to be on the internet, on YouTube, on cameras. And not only that, there are allegations that this guy has stolen stuff from orphans. And I've seen this comment many times over that Mark Meets Africa not only stole from people.
He stole from orphans? God dang, this dude. I didn't know about that. He in Tanzania, Joe, be stealing from orphans?
You're going to hell, straight to hell.
But children as well. Here's what I want to tell you. A person like this is the best person to take your money because, number one, you trust them. Number two, they're unaccountable and they're gonna blame somebody else and they have no reason doing business with you in the first place or taking your money. It's somebody like this.
He has that innocent face. You wouldn't, especially
exactly. Exactly. He got that Obama. He's an Obama looking Negro.
That you need to always watch out for because they are Mr. Fake Humble. And blacks in general, we love somebody with a so-called humble spirit, but anybody can set you up for the okie doke and attack you later. The next person on my list is T3 and Me. This is an African-American couple, I believe, from like Tennessee that are repatriated and live in Tanzania.
Now, these are the bum Negroes. I knew they were bums. They on that Hebrew Negro like nonsense. Oh, yeah. They were talking about Yah and Yahshua, Yah, all that. Whatever you run as fast as you can from these Yah Negroes. Yah, in the spirit of Yah, Yahshua, Yah, all that old shit. Yah, Joby. Yah. So now, that's whenever they talk about Yah, they about to scam you. So they all talking this Hebrew Negro like. They got the Tanzania around the same time. That's why they came across my radar because we was in Tanzania and I was doing that funk. I had all them people there at that thing I was hosting, right? Had all those African Americans that I brought to Tanzania. So they popped up at the same time. And I knew they got to talking that Yah, the most high Yah, brought us here. I said, uh-oh. Both of them like they ain't got no skills, no jobs. It's going to be scamming time coming, right? So find out. Here, that's why this Negro's outside. Outside. It looks nice because it's beautiful area. He don't got no equipment. He don't own nothing, right? He has no equipment, no nothing. And he's outside, but they've been scamming people. Send the money for some land in my Cash App. What? Where's your bank account? What's the name of your business? What's the name of your LLC? Or are you incorporated? No. Send the money to my Cash App for some land. How are you authorized to sell land? Because Tanzania, I think that Tanzania does a 99-year lease agreement. That's what we were doing in land for in Tanzania. There's a 99. So you can't outrightly own. I think you can lease it for 99 years. And being a foreigner, unless you got somebody like William or whatever, you can't own it. You gotta have network, gotta have connections. Which all these years, these two Yah Negroes have not built up none of that. They're scamming. What you say, Joby?
You're calling them the Yah Negroes.
That's right, the Yah Negro. Yah. The great Yah. I guess I'm tired of these Hebrew Negro-lites and this Yah nonsense. And Yah, does Yah care about you Negroes always scamming? And the one thing I say, these Yah Negroes say they're not Africans. Why are they moving back to Africa? They say they're not Africans. They got nothing to do with African people. So why are these Yah Negroes in Africa? Go ahead, Joe.
The diabolical proof about them like I do about Mark, but I do have some inclinations about this particular couple. And why am I going to say this? Because if you look here at their bio, they are saying that they can help you invest and repatriate into Africa. And what it means invest, I'm pretty sure.
Pause that for a second. I see people been talking about, remember when you had that Go Black to Africa Negro years ago when he first got, he was a nobody. And so he was in Nairobi. And I reached out to this Go Black to Africa fake phony. I said, hey man, we're gonna want to do an interview with you. Would you mind coming to the? We're gonna pay for your car and stuff. How much money will you give me? How much money? We don't pay nobody for no interviews. Who are you? You're nobody. He had like 5,000 subs who asking me to pay him for it and just go back to Africa Negro, right? Another fake founder. He been giving all kind of fake consultations for exorbitant money. They were trying to give a scam, right? So now he's got like 300,000 subs. That's where he got. But back then he had 5,000 subs. So I remember telling just said, okay, I'm gonna reach out to him. He's in Nairobi. We'll tell him, hey, come on, come to the studio. We're gonna pay for you to get there and tell us about your story. Coming to Tanzania, then Nairobi, and what do you think about it? This Negro asked me, how much money are you gonna give me? What? How much money am I give you to do an interview? I'm not giving you a damn thing. Con man. I'm supposed to be paying you for what? Who are you? Asking me how much. So anybody that's just go black to African Negro is about getting money from people. They're all phonies. That's always their motivation. How can I get money? But now you can say, no, my YouTube channel's big. I ain't got to get money from you. I got YouTube money, right? I thought you would have no YouTube money, moron. It's just about some money. How much you going to pay me to come? Pay you? Don't you want to give your advice to black people freely? How much you love Nairobi and Tanzania? No, I want to be paid. So anybody bringing that go back to black Negro to me, you better get out of here. He's just as phony as the rest of them. That's why the algorithm promotes him. He don't ever talk about nothing real. He's another one of them yah Negroes. And yah and the Most High. And yah. Talking about if you do a consultation with this phony Negro for $500. And they just say, I don't need your money. I'm a YouTube star now. He's been doing this since he had no money, since he had no YouTube following guys. He's been doing this fake consultation hustle since he had no subs. So don't trust none of these people. None of them. Because it's always about money first with these people. I find there's always some dysfunctional nonsense going on. But go ahead, Joby.
Sending money from your bank account to their bank account. Now, if it's investing in treasury bonds in Tanzania directly to the federal government, or investing in Stanbic or something like that, that would be different. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But if they offer investments in which you send money from your bank account directly to their bank account, like our boy Mark Meets Africa, then that's something that will alert me. And I just want to look at some of their content to see if it matches up with what they offer. Now, T3andMe, you can book a consultation with them for roughly around $150 an hour. A little bit pricey, but hey, it might be worth it. They did say they have been there for 5 years. And I want to use some information from this video called Why We Still Chose Tanzania. You can go watch the video in full for yourself. It's better for you to do that because I'm only going to use snippets of this video. But the guy, Tim, I believe that's what his name is basically going to warn you about dealing with scammers.
So coming here, you're going to have some cultural things that you run into. Some people going to try to get off that's from the continent of Africa. And some people going to try to get off that's from America with you. And when I say get off, I mean like people going to try to take advantage of you. Especially if you got a good heart. A lot of us come from America and we trying to come back to Africa and connect with our people. And let's link, let's do our thing. Kumbaya. Everybody don't think like that though. Some people trying to get some money.
So far, he's right. Most people just want you for your money. But wait, there's more.
Some people only see you as an opportunity. And some people only see what they can get out of you based off of what you're doing in that moment. So they're not thinking long term sometimes. Some of our people are in survival mode, and some of our people are just trying to survive, and you might be a lick to them.
But later on in the video, he says something that's quite interesting.
So don't get discouraged. Don't get backtracked. Don't get sidetracked. Trust your journey. Trust your process. And do what God told you to do. If you felt something in your spirit to tell you to go to Africa and come build, do that. Don't get scared. Do it scared. Leave it, bro. express it. Even if you feel scared, do it scared. Do it with that fear in you, and then the fear gonna go away. Trust your journey and trust your process. Don't get scared, man.
He says, if you're scared, just do it. Just jump. Go to Africa. Even if you're scared, just do it. I think that's interesting. Now, don't get me wrong, taking a risk is something that you got to do, but should you just take a risk into a new place where you don't know anybody and don't know anything? Well, what he's also saying is you don't need to really worry about being scared because you can trust me because, hey, I can align with you. People just want your money. That's kind of fucked up that they just want your money. It's kind of messed up that they don't see the potential. But don't worry, T3 and me, we are your potential because you can trust us with anything because we are not like them. He's trying to align with anybody
Pause that, Joe. Pause a second. Now, I do appreciate him saying this, and this is fair use. We use this content. This is fair use, dude. So, but I do appreciate him calling out the hustle and the scam. See, he can say the F-bomb, and it won't be. See, we say any F-bomb on here because we talk about real stuff. We don't even talk about this. We do any cursing, our whole video's flagged. See, this guy can curse and do what he want to do. This bag, he'll still get commercials on his thing. So I'm going to tell you how they promote certain individuals who don't really talk. He don't really talk about nothing. So this time he is at least telling the community about scammers, and I appreciate that. This time he don't talk about nothing. So, and that's what their algorithm promotes. So that's what I'm saying. Be careful of these con men and women that are coming to Africa trying to sell you a hope and a dream, and you've never been to Africa. You need to take the trip first. You need to come over, meet people, make connections. Except some moron on YouTube from Tennessee who ain't never built nothing in Tennessee. Show me what their life was in Tennessee. I'm sure it was broken bummy. That's why they went to Africa, try to reinvent themselves, right? And so since they don't got any skills, any jobs in Africa, the next thing is scamming people. And so I'm not going to bring up the receipts for this Tim 3 and me. They are scammers. They didn't scam people out of money, right? And if they want me to bring up receipts, I'll start bringing up the receipts. These guys don't listen to them talking about the Most High. That's how they get you. The Most High told my spirit to come here. And Yah said, and Yah said, love everybody. And do you got $300 for me? Because Yah said, yeah, okay, you got the spirit of Yah in you. And next you know, all your money is gone and you butt naked and broke on the side of the road trying to get a turkey sandwich, right? So, no, send your money to none of these people. See, you guys all got my personal number. People call me in the middle of the night, I'm like, who is this? Hey, Brother Keith, I want to ask you about the show. What? Who is this? What show? So, I made myself too close to you guys. But anyway, but you don't know, you don't have any license with these people. You don't have any camaraderie. You have no relationship with these people except looking at their YouTube channel. Don't trust none of them. None of them. Why they always talking about land? We got some lands. You ever heard of talking about we selling land on Black Ops Fire? No. We selling land. You heard Joby said she got land to sell? No. She. What land we got to sell you? Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
That is a tactic that scammers can use. Again, I'm not calling him a scammer, but he is trying to make it known that yes, Africa
I'm calling him a scammer. I'm calling him a scammer. I'm calling him and his goopy yah wife both scammers. And I want the smoke, right? None of you cats have never mentioned my name in your mouth. Because you won't survive me. I'm not this dude here. Nobody survives me. When I get on that ass, it's over. But I'm calling him and his wife the Yah. I'm calling them the Most High scammers with Yah. Go ahead, Joe.
He is telling truths there. He is also saying that, hey, people just want you for your money. They don't really want to do what they should do. But it's okay if you feel like you need to make the jump to come to Africa, you can do it. Just do it, even if you're scared. And you should do it with who? With me. Yeah, because see, you can trust me, somebody you just met on YouTube. But I want to go to another video that he did. This video is called The Bottom and Rise 4K. Now, this video is a podcast that he has started.
And when I started doing the podcast, you know, life started to happen and I had to start taking care of other things that were more important, like taking care of my family and staying.
He's broke. You see him outside?
Areas of my life.
I had to take care. He's broke. Go ahead, Joey.
As you can see, he wanted to start a podcast, but for whatever reason, he fell on some hard times. That's normal. A lot of people fall on hard times. But wait, there is more.
Waiting and stop holding myself to this unrealistic standard and being real with where I am and start where I am. And that way I can help myself and of course help you guys as well. Cause I'm all about being transparent and showing you guys my journey.
Hey, Joby, how's he going to help you if he's broke? How's he say I'm broke? Joby, how's he going to help you if he's broke, Joby?
Scam you. That's how he's going to help you. He's going to scam you.
Yeah. You're not getting around Joby if you're broke. Joby Shamani told you, no broke friends.
Exactly. Move away from him. I'll delete and block you. Stop playing on it.
Going on over here in Africa and how we can do things over here. So everything is not going to start off perfect and beautiful, and you're not going to have the team and everything that you want to have in place in order to build what you see.
So he said himself, well, you know, I was going to wait until things get better, but you know what? I'm outside doing the podcast. I want to start where I'm at right now because this is what I can do. And he's literally outside. It could have literally started raining on his ass while he was recording the video. I would expect that he would have packed it up and went into the house. But what he's pretty much saying is that right now he cannot afford a studio production for a podcast. If he could do so, he would be inside and not your production, turn around and help you invest in Africa. Now, video out. He's saying he's starting off where he is right now. And you're going to send your money to a person that can't even pay for their own podcast production house or their own equipment because he doesn't have the money. But he can help you invest in Tanzania. Does it make sense? Fuck no, it doesn't make sense. And I'm not trying to say that he doesn't have abilities or he can't do the job, but for me, that would not make sense. Could I consult on how to get around in Tanzania if I was a Hebrew Israelite? Or how could I go certain places in Tanzania if I was a Hebrew Israelite? Yes, he might be one of the people that I would pay some money to, possibly. But if it requires me to send my money to him, he's already down bad. Why would I send my money to a person that's already admitted that he can't even produce his own podcast the way he would like to? So no, I wouldn't send my money to him if it came to investments. Now, he could be mad about this all he wants, but that is the thinking that I would use, and I would apply that to that particular situation. This is no shade, but this is me doing a service to you so that you can use the same kind of thinking when people are trying to tell you, I know you're scared, but take a jump. Take a jump in Africa. It's okay. I'll catch you. Number 3, this lady here, Blacksit, the AKA booty clapping bandit of the Gambia. This is a lady who talks really strong and really pro-black. She really wants the citizens of the diaspora to come back home.
Juliet Ryan also supports automatic citizenship for African diaspora returnees.
But wait, there's more. She also sells real estate and land in the Gambia.
These images that you are now seeing on the screen is of 2 wonderful apartment buildings. I think you've got a picture of just one. The location is in a location that many locals call Turntable. It's near Turntable. That's the nearest sort of spot that I can think of.
But wait, there's more. The issue is Juliet, the owner of Blacksit, has some really bad situations in the past that have really discredited her business name.
My story replicates Dread's. The second trip to check our property to get it squared away, the same month, we got the same bullshit from Juliet, showing you documentation with signatures. That stuff I didn't sign. The only thing I had was a receipt that they gave me on a piece of paper, a piece of notebook paper. That's all I got when I purchased the property. All the rest of that garbage that got my signature or whatever's on it is a bold-faced lie and a forgery.
Now pause that, Joby. Now I remember this how long. It's 5 years ago when they was born. Black Acres of the Gambia and that Juliet lady were in battle with one another back then. Now, no one said that they were scammers. I didn't know neither one of them because that's when we had Black Acres of the Gambia on the show when they were just getting started out, And then finally, everybody's now saying Rick and that family are scammers, saying this lady's scammer. I know this lady supposedly cheated on her husband like 4 years ago with one of the young men of the Gambia. Her husband was some Jamaican or something, or some island Negro. They all from England, and she ended up with some young guy in the Gambia. That's all I know. And Dr. Mummy was out there with all these crazy folks. I will get Dr. Mummy credit. I think Dr. Mummy didn't cut all these more and cut Phil, that Dinah Samir Khan man, this dude. Dr. Mummy then got away from all these bastards. All these crazy con men. But go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
I tried to contact Juliet. She would not answer the phone or anything. So I went to the police. The police, as Dred said, Juliet would not respond. She paid the police off or whatever, but she didn't show up. I came back to the United States and called Juliet, and she finally answered the telephone. I asked her, what was the deal on my paperwork? And she told me, I sent your paperwork to Banjul Scam Squad Police Department, and it can be picked up there. I hired a lawyer to go pick my paperwork up in Banjul. When he went to the police station, the police told him that Juliet did not send any paperwork. She didn't mail any paperwork. They didn't have any kind of documentation on my property, and therefore they could not help him. Spent somewhere in the vicinity of probably $7,000 trying to correct a situation that's worth a lot less. And it's not about the amount of money I spent. It's the fact that I don't like being scammed, and that's what she did to me.
Now, as you can see, that's an African-American brother who basically got scammed by Juliet, a lady who doesn't care about black people. Meanwhile, she lost her husband, who went back to the UK because she allegedly was so busy doing the booty clapping sounds with young men in Gambia, and allegedly she was supposed to be pregnant and then was not pregnant, and then lied about all of that, allegedly.
Brother Joby, they said she was booty clapping on young men in the Gambia. So you get there, get your buff young man and she didn't want that old Jamaican Negro she was with. He went back to London. I ain't got to go back to London and listen to my Jamaican, my reggae. so, all right, Joby. His reggae wasn't strong enough for her no more. She wanted some young penis up in her. And so shit. So, with him not paying the bills, it's gonna be scamming time, Joby.
Mm-hmm.
Out here trying to sell land to people because she's too cheap to reinvest into her YouTube channel, even though Wody Maya gave her like 20,000 followers on her first video, but she can't reinvest because scamming the diaspora is easier to do.
Pause. That's not a business. It's not easy to do. You reinvest into your YouTube channel. Now, when these morons find out YouTube is going to go away in about 2 more years as America collapses economically, the money's going to be gone. They like, so what business? No, start to do real business, guys. So these morons with these YouTube channels, they think that's a real business. It's not. It's a YouTube channel subject to America's economic situation, which is on the way out. America's a falling, dying empire. So all these morons keeping their hopes and dreams on a YouTube channel. See, he didn't invest in her YouTube channel. They think that's a real business. It's not. So when America collapses financially, all this YouTube nonsense is going to go away because it's based on the American dollar. And since most of these morons don't understand economics at all, they understand what America's facing a declining dollar and a declining geopolitical situation. They don't understand. See, that's in your YouTube channel. But in 3 years, your YouTube channel is going to be worth zero like the American dollar. What are they going to do then? But who am I to tell you morons anyway? Anything. That's in your YouTube channel. See how that works in the future. Go ahead, Joby.
Work and make money, yet people still want to buy from her. Now, here are 3 different situations and 3 different people, particularly 3 different narcissistic individuals, allegedly. The first and the third are for sure. The second guy, I don't really know, but I wouldn't do any business with him either. Are people who are looking to, in my honest opinion, prey on the diaspora. You have one guy who's fake humble. You have another guy who's a cool guy, but want you to take a risk on something that you're scared for because he got you and you should trust him. And then we have the pro blackity black scammer with the British accent who talks black but really likes pro back shots. I mean, which one do you want? All 3 of these people are the reason why the diaspora space on the continent of Africa is going down, not up. And until we decide that people like this should bring us more value, you will continue to be scammed. And again, for number 1 and number 3, I know for sure that they are scammers. Number 2, the jury is out, but once I get more receipts on that individual, it will be even more. Here's a warning for the rest of you guys out there.
This lady too. That's been on. See, they don't go in our circles. I've been telling you about that lady like 4 or 5 years ago. Jim was said that lady too. Yeah, because these people are not really. We're the only real pro. Some people calls pro-black is not pro-black because this dude was never pro-black. He calls anything pro-black, which is not pro-black. These Hebrew Negroites are not pro-black. They're not Pan-African. So he calls anything that just talks about black people pro-black. That's not true. Because he was never pro-black. He found himself now in Uganda claiming to be pro-black, because he's around black people. This dude was never pro-black. Has he changed? I don't know. I don't watch him enough to say whether he changed or not. But when I first seen these guys on YouTube years ago, he wasn't pro-black. They were all, they were anti-black too. They were hating on black women. They were upset because they couldn't get dates. I think he was like in Poland or something, screaming how he was talking about white women. How white women were so great. So he was not this dude was not pro-black back then. Whether he is today or not, I don't know. I wouldn't trust this phony either. You don't scream about white women and how great white women are. All of a sudden now you got black. He's got black women now because now he's in Uganda and he can afford them. He's got a little bit of money because he's in Uganda. He's always been broke and bummy too. Now, money moves everything. So now they can, he now can get him some women. Get him some nice black women. Back then he couldn't. So all women were all messed up. And he was the white Polish women. They loved me. Back then I was like, what? What is all this foolishness? So it was him and a bunch of cast of characters, just a whole bunch of losers. So, shout out to him. He's changed. So I'm not going to say he hasn't changed. Shout out to him. So hopefully, he's changed for the better and he seems to be, but what he called pro-black ain't pro-black. All right. He's only pro-black because he's now in Uganda and he's in that space. He was never pro-black, so he just reinvented himself as pro-black. You don't talk about you ain't talking about loving white women 7 years ago. Now you're pro-black. Everybody. There was that info hole nut. That introduced me all these guys. All these. You guys remember info hole man? Who was constantly coming around trying to teach me how to do this. That info hole Negro. He was hooked up because he was so thirsty to be on YouTube and people know him. I said, calm down, dude. Stop being so thirsty. What's wrong with you? So he's one of the first weirdos I came in contact with real weirdos. So real weirdos. Info. You guys remember the info hole Negro? That info hole dude. right? The info Negro. So he is connected to all these dysfunctional Negroes because he just, you know, because his sexuality was questionable because they all couldn't get dates. They all were like mad at women. They're all upset. That's why they was all him later on with the Kevin Samuels stuff. You know, Kevin Samuels dies dating a hood rat. He trying to tell about women and his standards. I told this all phone. When you get guys that's angry at women, those are the guys that can't get women. I already know what I'm because I was a womanizer. Everybody knows that about I was a woman. So I tell the dude who couldn't get women, upset about women. These are guys that are mad because they couldn't get women. They was all angry and they're like, "Ah, oh, you women, you hair-headed, who are you women?" They're all upset because they couldn't get coochie. Oh man. But go ahead, Joe. You can finish. Go ahead, let him finish up.
Doing things like this in this particular community, once it comes across my desk, I'm going to give you all the attention that you ever needed in your life. And once it comes across this channel and my other channels, it's all over but the shouting. It is going to be so career ending, you would have never expected it. Those are 3 people for the first series. If you guys have 3 other people that you feel are scammers,
let us know, let us know, let him know. Other people who are scammers, expose them, or you get your money. You'll be the next one if you keep on ignoring the red flags. You'll be the next one, so do your research. That's why it's really important to do. Again, again, personally, I love the strategy I think Keith used. Come to Africa first. See the culture. Don't just come with the money, because I feel like that's also one of the problems with majority of the Black Americans. You have this excitement now. You've heard about Africa, things are cheap, there is potential to tap in, but I feel like the first thing, again, that's why I love using Keith as a good example. Travel fast, different countries if possible. You don't have to really go with what we're telling you, maybe Kenya, but with the experience of the majority, I think you should listen where you can get not scammed, where you can blend in with the people, where you'll feel maybe a little bit more comfortable, and everything. But travel, come see the foods, get to taste different foods. Don't at least learn chitlins and
chitlins. And unlike these phonies, guys, we set up the network. We set up people in Africa where you can actually meet real people. That's part of my staff. You're not being hustled. Nobody's saying, you need this money. Nobody's telling you. I'm not telling you, you don't have to pay me nothing for no consultation. No money for a consultation ever. All these phonies. I need $100 to consultation. What? No. You don't pay for no consultation. We're family. We've always been family here. So if you want to know about Africa, that's what I'm here to teach you. That's why I pay for everything. There's no consultation, all this scamming. They always always trying to scam your own people. Trying to fight back off your own damn people. That's why I can't stand that go back to Africa Negro years ago. And I said, hey man, come to the studio for interview. Since I see you in Nairobi, how much you gonna pay me? I'll pay you no attention. That's what I pay you. I pay you no attention, moron. What am I gonna pay you? Then I found he was I'm gonna give consultations and get money because it's all about money to these morons. They don't care about you going back. So what can I get from you? It's always dubious behavior. So I said, oh no, don't bring me nothing about this go black to Africa Negro to me ever again. No. All right, so what can they give? I'll go read the comments.
All right. Baron Scott, shout out to Emil. Shout out to Emil. He said earlier, I can't afford the restaurant food right now, even groceries. I just paid for almost $3,000 to fix my car. All I can afford is some ramen noodles. Well, shout out to you. You do what you gotta do.
I know. What's wrong with your car, Email? What's wrong with your car, Email? Engine problems or something? $3,000. That's a hell of a bill. Go ahead, Joe.
Shout out to Jason Karibusana. He says, especially this one clown on TikTok saying they are not putting dead people in coffin and no new cemeteries. California is making new cemeteries 200 plus acres for last 400 years until it's full. Damn. And also see Jason says the age of Aquarius got a lot of folks losing their minds. Byron says I can remember that project uh, that was aired about the Gambia. And Jason also says, like my mother even said, be mindful on everything you do or attempt to do in this life. Exactly. In Africa, you gotta be intentional. I feel like right now, the fact you guys, you've seen of course, which I believe if revolution literally happens soon, Africa should be able to, again, like we always say, go back in its feet because we have all the resources, we have a lot of potential, a lot of actually development that needs to be made here, but don't come in blindly thinking just because people are poor,
Exactly.
I can, I understand a lot. Yeah, the poverty has made us, the poverty has made most of us very clever, sleeping
All right.
hungry, your stomach touching your backbone, it makes you wake up, no time to
All right.
sleep. You'll see opportunities and
Africa.
grab.
That's right. All right. Africa's the future, but don't be no fool, like Joby said.
Yeah, you see opportunities and grab them. So do your research, again, networking, find the right people. It's hard to find, of course.
Can you guys hear me? Did I go off or did Joby go off? I'm in a bad area down here, down by the damn Mexican border. Did Joby go off or am I off? Let me know if you guys can hear me or not. The screen just went black. Can you guys hear me? It may be me. Did we lose Joby? Okay, we lost Joby. Hope that's Africa. See, so the power went off, or the internet went off, and I've told you guys that's Africa. Where we got the I can't put a generator in the studio in that area because people would get jealous in that building if I put a generator there. They'll get upset because they don't got one. That's that's some of the petty stuff you have to deal with. That's why I put a generator. But there is a new way. There's a new generator Joe would show me that we can put inside the studio. It won't have to be outside and making any noise. So I think we better get that now. But let's see if Joby makes it back or not, guys. See, I thought it was me 'cause I'm way down. I'm way down out here on the Mexican border. So let me know if you guys can hear me or not. Oh, the radio. See the radio. Okay, the radio station went down. Okay, so that means the internet went down. Joby might not make it back. So if the radio station is not working on that end, I have to get on my end, and it means either the power went out. And that's usually what happened. Either the power went out or the internet went out. Most likely, it's not the internet. It's usually the power. So, we've been dealing with bad power outages in Nairobi for the last couple of weeks, just unbeknownst. So how much time do I got on the show? We got about another 30 minutes, so I'll switch it over. I'll switch, I'll switch the radio station over to a mosquito another half an hour when I get out here with you guys. Um, I just put on my end over here in America. That's what happened. So the lights might have went off. Said Joby was talking too much. So, but like I said, you got to be careful on these scams. And like I said, I appreciate him talking about these scams because I would never think that guy would be one of the ones that talk about it, because back in the day when they first introduced me to his content, I was like, whoa, this dude's anti-black. All these people, they were all anti-black. They're all weirdos, kooks, crackpots. And if you see them today, they be the same lose. They all were losers. See, YouTube gave them a second act in life. That's how I knew that Jason Black was a loser. Tariq was a loser. They gave this YouTube gave them a second. Everybody said, hey, she did work on a YouTube channel. YouTube gave these guys a second life, a second act, because they were all losers. They didn't have regular jobs or regular careers. They didn't build anything. That's why you see them on YouTube every damn for hours back then. Crazy. You had a bunch of losers trying to give people advice. I said, this is crazy. You can't show me none of these people. You got a bunch of losers trying to tell you something. You guys remember back then, about 7, 8 years ago, Black YouTube was all, it's probably dysfunctional now because I don't build YouTube, so I don't know. Back then, it was all dysfunctional, all kind of kooks and crackpots and weirdos. I'm like, wow. Remember the Cynthia G's, the big G, me arguing with Cynthia G on that show? That crazy boy. I had to shut her up and shut those other people down. And Nyla and, oh man, bunch of weird. There was a dude with the cane, was that dude with the cane of city and all these old weird old Negroes? They all broke, all messed. And YouTube gave them a second life. That gave them a chance to be something, because their whole life has been failure. They all been failures in life. And I found that being like, no. I don't want to meet nobody behind the scenes. I don't want to collaborate with none of these losers. Their whole lives are messed up. Mr. Joby sent me a message about the lights being down. Stay tripping right there. I'm gonna put my phone in the cup. Got me texting and arrested my ass. Texting while I'm driving and shit. I looked up as a state trooper right there. Oh shit. Got my ass texting and driving at the same time. Yeah, Joe hasn't sent me anything yet, so it must be, yeah, the lights must be up. Yep. You know, Joe don't never charge your phone. So yeah, there's been no guys, the lights are out. So, but like I said, I know it's an unusual topic. Like I said, I appreciate him having because that's the space he in. We don't ever be in these kind of, we really in a space all our own on YouTube. We're completely shadow banned on this platform. So, anybody trying to sell you land in Africa without any damn, especially come from America, they don't have any citizenship in the country. They have no business accolades. They have nothing to show you. You don't send nobody no money buying a house. They build a house for $16,000. Africa may be cheap, but it ain't that cheap. Where you building a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house for $16,000 at? Now, when I'm saying cheap, I'm saying because America, because my house in America is like $300,000, right? So I'm talking about cheap. I'm talking about something like $65,000 to $70,000. Now that's cheap. You can't buy no house for that in America. So $65,000 to $70,000 is cheap. But you can buy a decent house, not no great house, but a decent house around Nairobi for about $65,000, $70,000. That's livable. That's nice. That's up to our standards, right? Up to our standards of living. So to me, $65,000, $70,000 is actually cheap because you're not buying a house in America for that price at all. You know, but to have somebody say they building you a house from scratch for $16,000, you touched in the head. You absolutely crazy. And that's why they're preying on the elder. You out of your mind. I say building you for labor, material, and the land for 16 grand. Where is that at? You know, you asking to be scammed. Mm-hmm. I say cheap. Shout out to John and his wife. I think they already moved. You know, I help a lot of Negroes out there. They don't never call me back. They get what they want out of me, and I don't never hear from them again. I hooked John up with a real estate agent over in Nairobi. That was legit. Dan, John, we buying land over here. We gonna build a house. Why you gonna build a house? How about you just buy a house that's already made? What is building nonsense? They're already building houses, guys. Let's go get a new house. Stop building stuff. Building a house. I'm not building nothing. Stuff I get in Africa, it's already. You guys see the houses I bought in Africa? They're already built. I'm not building nothing. It's already built. And so, anybody talking about you building something? No. But to me, like I said, $65,000, $70,000 to me is cheap for a house. I don't know where you get a house at in America for that price. So that would be a normal price, $65,000, $70,000 if they give you that price, right? That's understandable. So wow, that's cheap. You ain't getting no house for no $18,000. What are you talking about? And so they preying on the elderly because he knows these scammers know you can't buy no house, you can't build no house for that. And they always get them with the building. How about you not build it? How about you just don't find a house that's already built? You know how many headaches there is building a house? I don't have no problem to do with that. I'm building stuff right now and I got headaches, right? They go, Joe, see, he said to me, Keith, lights are gone. I know. So she just tell me, lights are gone. I know. I'm gonna tell her to go home. I know, Joby, go. I know, Joby, go home. Hello, Joby, go home. Go home. Yeah, so Joby just sent me some WhatsApp. Let me know the lights are gone. That's Africa. You guys know I don't sugarcoat nothing. That's Africa. Joby's telling you lights are gone. Right? Let me know the lights are out. So it's cheaper to build from scratch. Where's that at? I don't know about that, Joe Mosquito. I'm not building nothing you want to build. I don't want to build from scratch. I don't want them headaches. Okay, just find a nice house and buy the house. But they was gonna build shit. I don't want to build nothing. I want it already built. I'm not building no house in Africa at all. Everything I get is already built. I go to real estate agents and say, hey, I want this house. I don't want all this. I want to build a house nonsense. I don't want to build nothing. I want to know the house is there and I can move into it. I look around for the one I like. I ain't never even built no house in America. Trying to read you guys' comments. That's the reason why I couldn't do no show this weekend, guys. I told you, one of my sons came by. He's getting the house built, right? I don't know if he's building the house. He's built 2 houses over there in Houston. And I'll try to share them if I can. I'll share them on our WhatsApp chat group, guys. I'll share them in there. They look amazing. I'm like, man, you getting these things built? Because, you know, him being a music producer, he said the music industry is drying up. He's not making any money no more. It's hard for him to make money producing music now. So he's building another house to, you know, get some residual income. I said, you want to be a landlord? People tear your stuff up? Yeah, just one way to make money. I said, okay, good luck with that. Good luck with that nonsense. But, you know, now I've never built a house, but my second oldest son is building 2 houses in Houston. And he came by Saturday. That's why I couldn't do the show. He came by Saturday with a few of my, you know, with 2 of my grandkids with him. And so as I was prepping to do the show, well, you guys go crazy. As I was prepping to do the show Saturday, he just showed up out the blue. He didn't tell me he was coming by. He just, you know, passed through, coming back from Houston, going back to North Carolina. He came through Florida and just came in to holler at me and show me the houses that he was building. I was like, man, how much are these houses? Sheesh. He building houses I can't afford to get in. Because my mortgage, you know, my mortgage is fixed at $2,000 a month, right? You know, yeah, I'm going to charge $2,500 rent. $2,500? Jesus Christ. Man, I can't afford that. I probably could, but I'd be struggling. I'd be beans and toast. So, but gotta be careful in Africa, guys. They, you know, my staff say I go too hard. I always tell the truth. I'm too hard on Africa. I don't sugarcoat anything. And as you guys see, the lights went out in the studio. You know, you got power outages, and this is the capital. This is Nairobi. You got power outages, so you're gonna need a backup generator. I don't want to shoot. That's why, you know, every house I buy over there, it's got a big ass generator in the back. I'm not sitting in the dark for nothing. So, you know, but as far as America, is it a cheaper way of life? Yes. Slower way of life? Yes. But don't be deceived and think things are just super cheap. Some things are expensive in Africa, especially if you're shipping things in, because remember, Africa doesn't make anything. So everything that you're shipping in is going to cost high. All the imports cost a lot of money because Africa doesn't make anything. So your import duty is always high. If you import, like me, like when I was importing stuff to the studio, we were building that studio 5 years ago, that stuff I had to import from the United States. Because a lot of stuff in Africa they didn't have, those cameras and all that stuff was killing my ass. The import taxes was killing me. But as far as building the studio out, you got good contractors there who built the studio out. So I kept those guys to build the other stuff I'm building around Nairobi right now. So See, those relationships that you build in Africa are very important. Because the guys that built Black Hot Fire for me, you guys in the studio, who built the studio for me, I use those same guys to build everything that we're building in Africa, and they're loyal, right? He'll just build stuff for me on credit and wait. If I don't got the money, and say, okay, Keith, I'm going to build it. Just give me the money when you got time. Because I got that relationship with the brother, right? So this stuff he's built for me for free until I get the money. I can pay him, a week later, 2 weeks later. He'll take and go pay for the material, have his workers build it, give it to me, and let me pay him in 2 weeks. Now, ain't nobody gonna do that for you unless you built those kind of relationships, that kind of networking. And so he's the only person I use in Africa to build anything. He gets all my business. And I can't share with you guys, because I won't share with you guys what we built until the end of the year. Because I told you guys I had to start building stuff. Let me explain to you guys. This is the goal. Before I get out. So this is the goal, right? So I know we're on hard times, right? And everybody can't donate. People don't got any money. You can't keep asking for a donation. So at that time, I had a big staff. And I thought the advertising dollars, right? Because people around there ask us to, like Kenya, they want us to get our own frequency, not just be on the internet, not just be on TV. They want us on the regular radio station. I wasn't getting enough advertising dollars because we were only so big in Kenya after all these years. And so I couldn't pay the ad agency to build us up because that was just too much and pay everybody's salary, right? Because working at Black Hot Fire, I don't pay people sorry wage. Everybody gets paid well. Everybody lives a really good life. So I wasn't getting enough advertising dollars last year to sustain us, and these advertising dollars just not enough, right? I said these advertising dollars that we're getting from people, they're just not enough. So I said, I'm going to have to fire some people. Saturday, I said, I'm going to let some people go, lay them off, because I want to call it fire. I'm going to lay a whole big chunk of my staff off, because we don't get no YouTube dollars. This all comes out of my pocket. And the advertising dollars are just not enough to keep everything going by itself. So I said, okay, I'm going to have to shift, right? I'm going to have to build businesses that bring in an income. But I'm not asking for donations, even though I don't get many donations from you guys. It's rare. I don't even like doing that, right? Yeah, the donations are rare, shit. Rare and far between. So like 2 people that give donations on a regular basis. That's Big Cheese. Used to be Ricky. And, the unknown brother. It's rare. So I said, I got to start building businesses around Kenya and Tanzania that's going to bring in income to fund Black Hot Fire. Everything's not coming out of my pocket. I'm going to have to build businesses that are going to fund. And so that means I needed networking, right? I had to have new people in the government. I had to have people, so my staff knows people in the government. My staff knows all this other stuff. So I was going to share with you guys a lot of things, but Joby told me no. I want you guys to know there's a lot of shit I'm building right now. I'm not going to be asking nobody for no donations by the end of the year. I never hardly asked for them anyway. It was always on me. But because I have networking and I have a staff, see, that's my pathway, because I have a staff that knows everything in Kenya and how to get shit done. Because I have access to the Kenyan government, access to certain things that people don't. So I'm able to get things done, on a real level, I don't need to scam no land scamming, right? So And I was going to share with you guys a little bit just today. And Joby said, nope, 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 nope. At the end of the year, I'm going to share everything I built within a year. Now, remember, I built all this stuff. Next year, I built it all within a year. Everything I built, I'm going to show you, I built it all within a year. But I had to have networking, had to have connections to people in Kenya to be able to do what I'm doing right now. So I got to keep it under wraps. So I share probably around November sometime, December. So I need to build all these businesses that were going to fund Blackout Fire without begging for donations and all that kind of, because I don't like begging for no donations, all that. Hey, family, can you beg? Here's my Cash App and all that. Get all that. Right. All these morons be getting donations. You can't show me nothing they built. What have they done for anybody? What value have they brought to anybody? Nothing. I can't. Can you guys hear me? Who almost got broken hands? Who's that? Oh, you almost got, oh yeah, email almost got broken hands. That's right. That's right. Emil almost got. That's right. Emil, you said you almost got broken hands. That's right. You almost got broke. Emil buying all kind of crazy stuff. That was your fault. That was your fault buying all that crazy stuff in Tanzania. Guys, I'm gonna wrap this up, and I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow with Joby. Since I'm down here on the Mexican border right now, I'm gonna give me some illegal aliens. Hey, where's your goddamn green card at? Just 35 miles from the border. I'm new border patrol out here, damn it. Every 2 hours, guys. So I'm gonna wrap this up, family. I lost Joby. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Say much love to everybody. I'll share with you guys at the end of the year everything we built. So I'm building everything fast. I've been dealing with some corrupt government officials, and that is what it is. You know, I've been dealing with corruption, but they still allow me to build what I'm building. Right? So I'm gonna say much love, family. I'll talk to everybody later. Peace, guys. I'm out. Everybody have a beautiful day. Peace, guys.